Hey guys, I just want to take a moment and say I'm so glad that I'm not the only one who was struggling with trying to get the information on what to do with the inside of these icky, sticky bucket bags. And um, I got this in the mail this week. I won it on auction at eBay for like $149. I was so excited when I opened it up. Was in great shape. When I tried to get this out of the bag, my hand got stuck in there. Not to mention the stench. It was like mold galore. So I thought I either need to try and get rid of the smell or I need to cover up the smell. So what I did was I went in with the method that Michelle Blanc has so graciously shared us with the acetone nail polish remover. After I did that, I then used the method that I use with I refinish furniture, and I'm also a hairdresser. So I kind of took all my knowledge with color and theory and painting, and I took paper towel and I kind of rubbed at that layer of plasticky sticky. It's hard to explain, but it's something they probably used in the 80s and the 90s with coating the inside of these bags. That worked a little bit. It would pill up and roll off, and like almost like an eraser kind of. That was kind of like the technique I was going for. After I did that, I realized that the smell was not going away. I waited 24 hours to let it air out. I then decided that I was going to try a technique that I use with refinishing furniture, and that's I custom my paint when I do a milk painting or chalk painting. I took with what I had around the house, and I had Tulip Soft Matte, which is a fabric paint. It's acrylic base, and I mixed it with calcium carbonate, which I purchased on Amazon 2 years ago for $15, maybe 18. We mixed a teaspoon of the calcium carbonate with 2 to 3 teaspoons of water. You want it to look similar to the consistency of pancake batter. Then you add in your paint, and you use about more of the paint than you would of that. So if it was 1/3 of the water and calcium carbonate, it would be 2 parts to this. So you'd have 2 parts of this. After I did that, you mix it up really, really well. You apply it with a brush, and you're going to go in an X. You don't want to go back and forth or up and down. You kind of want to go all over. You don't want to have a brush stroke. I wanted it to look very similar to velvet or velour, something that kind of soft. So even to look at the texture of it, it would look soft. In between each time I applied the paint, I did a technique where I use this on furniture. I took a paper bag and you rip it into squares, and it's like buffing. So when you get your nails done at the nail salon and it's gritty to the touch, then they go back in and they buff it down and it becomes softer. Same idea, same technique. You're actually going to kind of buff the inside of the bag in circular motions back and forth. I went through the whole bag, and what you're doing is you're going by the feel of it. So you want the inside of the bag to feel smooth. It actually feels pretty good right now. The final coating just dried, so I'm excited about that. Also does not smell. It's wonderful. So I did probably 2 to 3 coats of the calcium carbonate and the water with the paint. After I did that, and I buffed in between each coat, I then went in with a Resinine, and I did 1 coat of this. I wanted to see how it would dry, and it actually took a little while. I was a little nervous. It's still a little tacky in spots. I'm probably going to do 2 or 3 more coats of this. My original plan was to paint the outside of the bag, but when I discovered how smelly and sticky it was, I decided to work on the inside instead. I hope this helps you guys, because when I went online looking for techniques as a painter, I know acrylic paint, when it dries, it stays. And it does depend on how you pre-treat the surface that you're working with. Now, Pre-treating with the acetone is a great way, or if it's fabric, with fabric paint, you have to wash your garment before you paint on it. I wanted to show you the bag. There were two reasons why I decided to go in with the acrylic paint, the fabric paint. The first one was the scent. The second was when I took the lining, the plastic coating off of the fabric, it felt very flimsy to me, and I felt like it needed a coating on it, something to kind of give it a little more structure, a little more stability. So I pulled out the two bags that it has in it, the two pockets, and I coated them. And it's pretty easy. It's not hard to do when you open them and close them. The one thing I will say is when you're painting on fabric or even on the bag, you want to actually, it's called flexing. You want to take it and go back and forth, and what you're doing is you're allowing the paint to dry with flexibility. So they call it flexing. And you're just, you know, as it dries, I do that. I'll go through the piece, and I'll just kind of bend it. This actually feels very much like suede right now, so I'm kind of excited about that because I haven't buffed this one down yet. I think that's really huge, taking the paper bag to it. This bag is actually going to be painted. I'm doing some artwork on the inside of this bag, so when I finish it, I'll show you what I've done, and I'll go from there. And also, please, if you have any ideas or suggestions with the painting, let me know. I am going to be working on some techniques on the outside of the bags. I have some ideas of things I wanted to try, so I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope this helped you guys. You have a good night. Thanks. Bye.